My next guest is going to be back in action at UFC 255 coming up here on November 21st. It is Kyle Daukaus back here on the program. Kyle, how's it going, man?
It's going good. I'm 11 days out, 10 days out, so it's the last little push for the last week, and then I head out to Vegas on Tuesday. So
excellent. Well, I catching you at a good time, and obviously a lot different circumstances than the debut where it was on short notice. It seemed like you had a lot of notice for this fight. When did you actually find out?
I believe it was we were originally scheduled to fight on the 7th. So like 8 weeks or so from then, I found out, and then I had heard that he or like a training partner had gotten COVID or a coach or something, so they wanted to push it back. So they pushed it back 2 weeks and gave him a little bit of rest time. So, yeah. Okay.
Well, fair enough. I referenced the debut. It was a great fight. I think, it's very rare to have a loss and your stock go up. I think you gained a lot of fans in that matchup because you gave everything you had against Brendan Allen on a short notice fight. And Brendan, still hasn't lost in the UFC. What was the feedback like after that performance? Because like I said, I think you gained a lot of fans off that performance.
Yeah, there was nothing negative came from it. A lot of positive came from it, like everybody's saying, a lot of support and everything like that. And it's I don't know. I expected a lot of trash talking and stuff like that, but I took the fight on 10 days notice. It was a tough fight, tough decision, and I'm just getting a lot of support, which is a big surprise. I didn't realize that so many people knew who I was and really were rooting for me. Like once the fight got announced, they were all backing me and in support, and it was just crazy to realize that all these people are behind you, just supporting you, even though they're from all around the world.
And what did you take away the most from that performance? I know it was short notice, but still, I'm sure you learned some things in that fight.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really stick to my game plan that we had planned. I was doing very good on the feet, and I just was shooting for takedowns just because it's where I'm comfortable. That's where I was comfortable. It was nothing that I wasn't supposed to do. Our game plan was to go in there, be heavy on top, and just do my usual game plan and grind people against the cage, take them down and submit them. But, I was giving up a lot of bad positions that I shouldn't have been giving up. There was a couple sweeps there that he had gotten that I needed to just capitalize on, and I didn't. So it is what it is. A lot of this camp I've been a lot more strict, I would say. Even though I did take the fight on 10 days notice, I was 9-0 at the time. I really had a lot of confidence going in, so I was just very mentally strong as far as I could slack off one day and not worry about it. And I'm like, it's not a big deal. But this camp, I can honestly say that this is probably the strictest I've ever been since my pro debut. So it's good. I'm getting all my workouts in that I need to get in, and I'm just getting ready for the fight.
Less pressure at all? I mean, maybe pressure is not the right word, but I know when you have that undefeated record, that's always in the back of your head. When am I going to lose and all that? I know for some fighters, when they do get that first loss, there's a bit of relief. Does that make a difference for you? Do you still, like you said, you're being more strict this camp, but did that mean anything to you?
Yeah, no. I've always envisioned myself winning every single fight, so I've always taken it one fight at a time, and I've always just pretty much gone into the fight mentally thinking that we're both 0-0, and that I just have to be 1-0 for this fight. But no, it's not a big deal.
No, fair enough. Every fighter is different. I talked to Miles. I talked to Miles Johns, before his last fight, and he was telling me the opposite. He's like, man, I feel so good now. I got that out of the way. I don't have to worry about it now. I know what I need to do and all that. So I don't know. Every fighter's a little bit different in that regard. How do you feel like you match up against Dustin in this fight? Good record, and obviously, got a nice win on Contender Series.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's 12-1 or 13-1 now. I don't know.
Yeah, he's 13-1.
But he's good. I think a lot of the guys that he's fought aren't, not to be rude, but they're not very high caliber guys. I fought, and I think that if you put it up against each other, my opponents and stuff like that have been far superior to his. His Contender Series fight was all right. I mean, he came out in that fight looking nothing like any of his other fights. He was very slow, patient, flat-footed, and he was just real hesitant, and it was weird. So I'm expecting him in this fight to come out a little bit differently, to pressure a little bit more, because I'm not really a big knockout artist. The guy he fought in the Contender Series, Joe, is knocking people senseless. So I think that's what made him like hesitant and stuff like that. But I think against me, he's going to come out like he usually does and try to pressure me, try to make it a grappling exchange, and not going to have any of that. So,
who have you been mainly working with for this camp?
I have like a set group of guys. My brother, who was a UFC heavyweight, and all the other
coming
guys
off a couple nice wins actually. By the way,
yeah,
Chris
right?
Daukaus looking pretty good.
It's great to see. Yeah, but I have him. My coach Will Martinez is a Bellator vet. I have Jesse Velez, Angelo Matarazzo. I have two brothers, the Hill brothers, that I've been training with. These guys are all brown and black belts, and some of them have MMA experience, so it's good. We just have like a little set core group of guys that we're working with, and it's all coming together.
How's the weight cut going ahead of this fight? I mean, plenty of notice, so pretty.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what it usually is. This is the last. Like I can still eat carbs and still have salt, so it's all good for now. But once I fly out there, it's no carbs, no salt, and I just have to cut like, I don't know, maybe like 12 pounds from Tuesday. So it's a lot easier than last time, I'd say.
Yes, no, for sure. How's this fight playing out in the 21st? Feel like you're going to get your hand raised, obviously. Why sign the contract?
Yeah,
but how do you envision the fight playing out?
I believe I'm going to be dominant through all aspects of the game. I don't think he can compete with me standing on the ground. He's very like wiry and stuff like that, but I still don't think he's up to my caliber of fighter. Not to like discredit him or anything like that. He's got a good record and everything like that, but I just think I'm going to dominate the whole fight. And I think in mid-second round, I'll be able to put him away.
Obviously, big fight here. I know you're looking for that first UFC win. Is the plan to, because we're coming up to the end of the year here, I imagine you want to enjoy the holidays, then get back at it in 2021, even if you're healthy?
Yeah, I think like ever since I started fighting, I've always had a fight in December, so I can never really enjoy Thanksgiving or Christmas. But thankfully, this fight is before Thanksgiving, so I get to pig out of Thanksgiving. But yeah, I know that as long as I come out of this fight healthy, I'll look to fight hopefully January if they let me. Maybe I can get on the Conor Poirier card if they let me.
There you go. Kyle, always appreciate the time, man. It's UFC 255 coming up here November 21st. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media? I'll give you the last word.
Just everybody that's been supporting me throughout the whole career, my girlfriend, my mom, my brother, who's always been there, his wife, just everybody, the usual guys. They know who they are.